I lied. You have to set it first. So, I'm going to set it with my Urban Decay Naked Whitelist Concealer. I'm in the shade Medium Light Neutral. And I haven't applied my foundation or anything yet. Obviously, there's two different ways. If you are doing a look that has a lot of fallout from your eyeshadow, you can apply your foundation and everything first and then just set a really heavy layer of powder underneath of it. That way if anything falls out, you can just swoop it away, which is what I've done before on here. But you can also just do your eyes first and then go back in and do your foundation, which is what I'm going to do right now. And I'm like breaking out like crazy because if you guys remember on my skincare routine, I told you that there was a toner that I've used, but I thought that it dried up my face, but I wasn't really sure. So I used it again, and it completely broke out my entire face. So yeah, we're fighting that. Anyways, I'm going to go in with this color right here out of the Morphe 35W palette. And I lied again. I'm going to take some just loose powder. I'm taking the translucent powder by Laura Mercier and just setting my lid. Okay, so now I'm going to take that. We're going to go right above the crease. And then for this look, I am bringing it all the way to the inner, just because I am going to be smoking it out, so. And I'm taking it a little bit further down than I normally would. I'm going to show you why in a second. Thank you. Okay, so we have a pretty good transition color. Now, that was with my fluffy brush, my M441, yeah. And so I'm going to take a little bit denser of a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with this warm brown right here. And I'm going to kind of keep that in the crease, but low. For this look, with this product, whenever you go in with your second color, you're really trying to focus on putting the color on more than blending it, because you can always go back in and blend. So with this brush, you want to focus on spreading out your product and putting it where you need it. And then if you get a line, a harsh line right there, then you can go back through it with the fluffier brush and blend it out. Because if you start to bring this higher, it's just going to keep getting darker and darker and darker, and there's going to be no transition shade up there. And again, I'm just bringing it a little bit further down than I normally would. Okay, and then the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to take this dense brush and I'm going to take that orange that we use as our transition color, and I'm basically just going to round out this entire look. I'm going to connect it to the outside and bring it all the way to the inside. And I kind of want it, excuse me, I kind of want it a little bit further down. I don't want it right on top of my lash line because we have other colors that we want to put closer to that lash line. So just kind of blending that together and bringing it down a little bit further. So then I'm going to take that same brown that we used in the crease And this one I'm going to get a little bit tighter to the lash line. Okay, and then for my lid, I'm just going to take a flat brush and I'm going to go in with this deep, warm, almost like purpley brown. I'm just going to pack that right on the lid. And this is where you're going to get a lot of your fallout. So either do not apply your foundation before this, or apply your entire face and then set your under eye or bake your under eye with a loose powder so that you can dust it away after. So just focus that on the lid for right now. Don't go any higher, or I don't go any higher than the crease. And I'm going to take a little bit of this really dark brown and apply it on the outside, on the inside, and whatever's left. I'll move to the middle. Alright, so then that same brush that we applied that middle color with, the color in the crease, I'm just going to take it with, I didn't add any more product, it's just kind of the dirty brush that I used from the crease, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to blend that color out. And my eyes are watering. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that warm brown, that purple brown. And again, just make sure you're bringing it all the way to the inner corner too, because it's a smoked out look. So I'm going to take that big fluffy brush that we used for the top, and I didn't add any product, I'm just going through and blending it out. And then it's just kind of a repetitive process, right, until you get to the color payoff that you want and the blending that you want. back in with a little bit of that orange. For people who have deep set eyes, kind of like if you're talking about like having kind of like a hood, I kind of have a hood. Like when I look up, you can see a little bit of my lid after I already put my liner and everything on. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know. I don't know if you should take the lid color higher and blend it higher so that way whenever you're looking straight you can see it. But you also have to remember whenever you're doing your makeup and you're looking at one spot, if you can't see it while you're looking in that one spot, you're not always going to be looking in that one spot the entire day. Your eyes are going to be moving everywhere. So my personal advice would be while you're doing your makeup, just make sure you look from all different views, and if it looks good, the way that it's blended when your eyes are shut, open, side to side, then it's a good eye. Because you're, like I said, you're not always going to be looking in the same spot all the time, so your eye's not always going to look like that. So you obviously do have a lid whenever you close your eyes, so yeah, I wish I was more informative on people with hooded eyes or deep set eyes, but the only thing that I really know is in the deep set part of it, you don't want to add a lot of darkness or depth because it will make it more deep set. So if you have a hooded lid, you don't want to put anything that's super shiny up here either, because that's going to bring it forward and then deep set your eye even more. So yeah, those are really the only tips that I have for deep set eyes. I'm sorry. So then I'm going to take that same purple, red, brown, and I'm going to take it on a precision brush and right underneath of my lash line. And I'm sorry, my eyes are watering. I have no idea why. You're welcome. Okay, so once you have that on your lash line, just go in with a pencil brush. And smoke it out. Okay. And then for the highlight, I'm trying to keep all of this entire look matte, so any type of white or very light off-white as your highlight up against that really dark purpley brown is going to make it pop. Okay, so then for liner, of course, my Ride or Die, my NYC liquid liner from the drugstore. I'm not going to do a wing. I'm just going to do a thick line. Mascara. This is the Full Exposure by Mashbox. And bottom lashes, I'm going to go in with my Tarte primer. And again, I like really thick. If you want to call them clumpy, you can call them that, but I really like my bottom liner, or my bottom lashes thick. So I apply a lot of primer, mainly because my lashes are super short. Okay. And then for my lashes, of course, I'm going to go in with my Slayla lashes by Flutter Lash and Makeup Shayla. Shoot that with my glue. I'm going to go with my Duo Glue. Woo. Oh, and if any of you guys watched my video yesterday, I found out why the lashes weren't sticking in the inner corner, and it's because I was using an old glue. So as soon as I used one of the newer ones that I had in my bridal bag, they stuck perfectly fine. So it was because I was using a old glue. I guess glue does expire. So I like to round my lashes, to kind of shape them to my eye. And then as I'm doing that, I blow on the glue to make it tacky. Usually let it go for like 30 seconds. Or what you can do while it's drying, I forgot, just go over your primer. Lashes, place them in the middle, right on my lash line. Right the edge. Yes, Makai is sleeping. He's actually been doing a lot better now. His acid reflux is, I think, almost gone unless the medicine's just really starting to finally kick in, but he's doing really good. See how this lash is like fuller than this one? I feel like it just looks so much better when the bottom lashes are thicker. Okay, so now that everything's applied, if you guys didn't see at the beginning, I did prime the top of my eyes and the bottom of my eyes with concealer, so I'm going to go in with my foundation. That's why I went ahead and did my bottom. If you didn't conceal under your eye first, and you still have to go in with your concealer and your foundation and everything, then don't do your bottom until after you've applied your foundation and your concealer. But I already went ahead and applied my concealer, so I just have to apply my foundation, which I'm going to be using the Naked Skin Urban Decay Weightless Concealer in the shade 5.0. I don't know if many of you are familiar with this, but I can't tell if it's this one or if it's my L'Oreal one that I mixed in with it. But throughout the day I noticed that it starts to not oxidize, and it gets darker, and so it doesn't match my neck or my skin throughout the day. I don't know if it's this or if it's my L'Oreal that I mixed in with it, so we're going to try and just put this on by itself. So I'm going to take my brush, and I've already primed my face as well. I did that before I did my eyes, sorry. So I'm just applying this everywhere. So then to blend that out of my face, I'm going to take a damp beauty blender. It's kind of dried out a little bit. No, I didn't put concealer all over my face. That was the foundation. The concealer I just put underneath my eyes and on top of my eyelids to prime my eyes. Because you can put concealer under your foundation and on top of it if you want. Most people put it just on top, but you can put it underneath too. It's not going to have any effect. No, see, this is the foundation and it matches my neck perfectly, but I don't know if it's because I mix it with my, or I sometimes mix it with my L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation, that it oxidizes throughout the day, and I notice that my face will be completely darker than the rest of my body, so we're about to find out. This is the first time I've used just this foundation in a while. And I want just a little bit more coverage. I don't know if you can see because of the lighting. Yeah, I'm breaking out on my forehead from the toner. So, I don't think you're supposed to apply it straight to the beauty blender, but oh well. So this foundation is buildable, but it stops at a medium coverage. I actually did my brows before this video, but if you guys want a brow tutorial on how I do my brows, I can totally do that too. Okay, so I'm going to take my concealer again and just apply it on the highlighted spots I want to highlight. Aw, thanks, love. Love you. Have a good day at work. I'm going to take my little beauty blender. Yeah, so I just started doing this, putting the concealer right underneath where I would normally contour, and it really already gives it a natural contour. Like, I haven't put any darkness there whatsoever, and I really like how it looks, because I don't like a super harsh line, but to just have it lighter underneath that spot makes it already have like a natural contour. Alright, so I'm going to take some of that Laura Mercier powder on my damp mini beauty blender and just set my under eye. Now, you don't have to bake it like this. You can totally just put a little bit on and be done with it. But I've noticed that if I bake it and let this just sit on there, while I contour the rest of my face. Underneath of my face will be naturally lighter than everywhere else, so I don't really need to highlight per se, because this is already highlighting for me. Okay, and then I'm going to take Matte Gimme Sun for my bronzer, and I'm going to take my bronzer brush, which is my Morphe M527 brush. It's probably my favorite bronzing brush ever. So with bronzing, I don't stay in any specific spot. Bronzer is just supposed to kind of warm up your face. It's not, I mean, it does obviously help with contour, but it's not supposed to be super carved. Hey! I'm hoping he wakes up in a little bit. I know it's terrible to say as a mom, you're not supposed to wake a sleeping baby, but I would love for you to see him. No. And then for bronzer, or for bronzing, I will take a little bit of that and just go on the side of my nose to intensify that contour just a little bit. But since I've highlighted on the bridge of my nose and underneath of my eyes, I don't really need to contour on the side of my nose because it's already kind of like a natural dimension, or not, is it dimension? Anyways. Yeah, so then whenever I bronze and I kind of just want like a warm, bronzy face, I will take that bronzer and just go on the center of my nose just a little bit for that like sun-kissed look. Alright. Thank you, Jess. Alright, so now that's sat for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and dust that away. And then for my blush, I don't want to do anything too peachy, so I'm just gonna kind of do, it's more of like a bronze blush. This is Warm Soul by MAC, and I'm gonna take my blush brush, just a synthetic haired brush. And then for my highlight, I'm going to use more of a goldish golden highlight, I'm going to go into my Carly Bible palette. This palette was like 14 bucks and the colors are insane. And the color pigment is really good too. I think I just put my, I put my nail in one of them. Alright, so I'm going to take my Morphe M501 brush and I'm going to go in this golden color right here. The reason why I chose the gold is because since it's for fall, I want more of like a warm highlight. I don't want like a pinky, and the lighting, I don't know if my face is like looking washed out or not. The one that I baked underneath my eyes with, is it the one that you're talking about? The powder, if you are, it's the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's awesome. But yeah, that's what I bake my underneath of my eyes with. And I don't know if I've ever said this, but obviously the reasons why I highlight on top of my cheeks is because that's the protruding part. So when the sun hits me, it's going to naturally hit me on the tops of my cheeks, on the bridge of my nose, and the reason why I put it up here, obviously the sun's going to hit your forehead, but you don't want your forehead all shiny. So I put it right above where my arch is on my brow, because even though I have already an arch, some people just have a straight brow, but I highlight right over top of the brow because that will give the illusion of a lifted brow, so it gives a little bit more arch in the illusion. Apparently that's what it says. And then I highlight my Cupid's bow to lift my top lip a little bit. I don't know if it's on your guys' camera too, but I wish my face didn't look so washed out because of the light, because this highlight is one of my favorites for fall, because it's so just golden and warm. Okay, and then for lips, which is my favorite part because I love this color, it will always be a love of mine. So I use the Lip Pencil Current by MAC. And I am going to overline just a little bit. Yes, oh, give me 1 second, I'll show you. It's the only thing I'm not a fan of MAC lip liners, is they're not creamy. They're real pencil-like. So for the people who missed it, I use my Carly Bible palette. This palette I think is like $14 at Ulta if she still has it, but it's by BH Cosmetics. And this was the highlighter that I used. This is my favorite highlighter for fall because it does have those gold warm undertones in it. This palette, like for the price and the pigment payoff that you get for the eyeshadows, is insane. It's a really good palette. I probably could have used that for my lid, but I just kept it. lips. So for my lip, I'm taking MAC Diva. Wait, I think it's Diva. Yeah, so these two are probably my favorite from MAC for fall. You have like your purple brown, which is Media, and then you have like kind of your red brown, and this is Diva. They're both my favorite. Both of them you could use for fall. This one's just a little bit deeper for those of you that can pull off a deep lip. I feel like I have to have some red in my lipstick for it to pull off, so that's why I put the deep purple underneath of it and then put the deep red on top of it, because it still gives it that depth without the bright redness. Look. You're welcome. There, so you can totally put the deeper one, the Media by MAC, or a deeper red. Also, a really good fall color is this guy right here. If you were to put a deep or purple lip liner underneath of this, I know it doesn't seem that dark, but on, it's a really pretty like mauve purple. If you were to put like a, and this is by Pacifica, so it's a little bit more affordable. I think that you can get this brand at Target. But if you were to put a dark purple lip liner underneath of that, it's a really, really pretty fall color. So anyways, this is the final look. I did see some requests to do a eyebrow tutorial, and I would totally do that for you guys. But yeah, the weekend's coming up, and I'm hoping that I can get some more Halloween looks out for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that this look has inspired some of you to do some fall looks for yourself. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.